guys, so we have a balance update today, and without much further ado, I'm gonna share my thoughts on the changes on the updates. Picture is should be credited to Nina Snoop. So yep, let's begin. We start off with Sam Wilson with his Captain America shields being changed to a 0-1. Nothing else changed except that it is now a 0 cost card. And I think this change is needed, right? Sam Wilson is a fantastic card, right? And he's not just a fantastic card for his archetype. He is a fantastic card across the entire game, right? I was just having this discussion with my alliance members, and Sam Wilson is, even if you just move the Captain America shield to him once, just once, he is effectively a 2-6. Alright, he's a 2-5 plus the cap shield, a 1 power 2-6, right? Which makes him the best 2 cost in terms of power, right? The only two 2-cost cards that has 6 power, one is Lizard, and you have to be careful about that. The other is Maximus, and yeah, if you play Maximus, you are giving your opponent a huge advantage, unless you are putting it off to turn 6, but that represents a risk because, you may want to play some other cards on turn 6. So yeah, Sam Wilson is just too great, too strong if you were to ask me. And the problem, okay, it's not that he's too strong, it's that he's too good and can be used too widely. Right, so I don't think there will be an issue if he's very strong in ongoing decks, which he is, but doesn't have much application elsewhere. Right, I think that will make it a very fair cut. Right, so with this change, it takes away some of the thing. For example, not that effective in Zoo anymore, probably because Kaza wouldn't hit this card. Not that good in, when you're trying to play Call Obsidian. Right, Solar decks with not really applicable anymore because previously Solar decks used to benefit from the Captain America shield just dropping and you're able to play Call Obsidian in that lane, right? So I do like it that Sam Wilson's applications are being nerfed, being narrowed down more towards the ongoing archetype, which should be the case, right? Because he is supposed to be a card that revitalize, save the whole ongoing archetype. Next card, Doombot. Doombot is nerfed to a 4-0. It's just taking, if I recall correctly, Doombots were at 4-1, right? They are at 4-1. Yeah, I don't think I'm wrong about that. So it seems like a 1 power nerf, but considering you should be creating a Doombot on turn 4, 5, and 6, that's actually a 3 power nerf. My thoughts on Doom decks, well, they came in very, very hot on release. Alright, are they powerful? Are they still powerful? Yes, definitely, right? But I think that Doom decks are pretty not that fun to play with. They are really not that fun to play with because essentially after you play your Doom 2099, basically you're playing just one card every turn, which is not fun. Alright, because we want to play as many cards as possible. I mean, the game is about playing cards, right? So yeah, I think after it has since cooled off. I don't see a lot of Doom 2099 decks anymore, right? I do believe they are still strong after the adjustment, and even after this nerf, I do think that they are still strong, but I'm not so sure whether it is really necessary. It is a deck that people will play with for a while and then get tired of it. It's pretty normal, right? So yeah, I do not know if this nerf is warranted. Doom 2099 decks do feel very powerful when they get things going, but they do have their own problems too. The next change, Thanos goes from a 6-10 to a 6-12. Space Stones go from 1-1 to a 1-2. I do like it that Thanos is receiving some attention. Alright, I mean Thanos is such an iconic character, so yeah, he should be a huge part of any Marvel games. So yeah, I do like it. I do like this change. As to whether it makes a huge impact, it makes an impact, I don't know because I've never been a very proficient Thanos player. Okay, but I'm excited to see what new things people cook up. Alright, probably nothing new. It's just Thanos being buff and yeah. So it would be enticing for me to try to play Thanos again, play some Thanos decks. Yeah. So I like this change. Alright, Thanos, very iconic character, should be relevant in all Marvel games, or regardless of what kind of game it is. Which brings me to the next change. Wolverine is buffed to a 2/3. So yep, same thing. Wolverine is a very iconic character. So yeah, I like that he's buff as well. Mm, he's only used in destroy decks. So a small buff for destroy, I guess. Destroy hasn't actually seen much hasn't actually gotten anything new, hasn't gotten a buff or anything for a long time. So maybe this is just to help, destroy players keep up a little. So yeah, no big deal. Not a very massive change, right? Just a little buff for destroy to maybe keep up with power creeping. Yeah. Next change is interesting. Loki goes from a 2/2 to a 1/2. Uh, I do think that this is impactful. Hopefully, we'll see some Loki plays back on the table, right? But the I still think that the old Loki is so much better, right? Because with the old Loki, you know what you have drawn from their deck, right? Whereas the new Loki you are drawing, so it's uncertain, right? The old Loki, you are changing your hand, you're transforming your hand, so you know what you have gotten from their deck, and you know what to do, right? What sort of decisions. You know what you have in your deck, you know what you have on your hand, in your hand, alright? And you know whether it will mesh well together or not. But with this new Loki, it's a lot of uncertainty, right? So yeah, you do have the benefit of an inbuilt Sarah in that sense, but I don't know, man. I don't know. The honors is on drawing Loki turn 1. I I hope Loki comes back, right? I like playing Loki, but I'm not sure if this change will result in Loki being back, right? If we really want to see Loki back, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I honestly think just change him back to his old to back to what he was previously, whereby you transform your hand into your opponent's cards, your opponent's deck, right? I think that was okay, right? And I mean, over time, people has learned to play against Loki. I think he was balanced as a 4 cost. Yeah, yeah. Next up, I think I'm gonna skip Swordmaster first. I'm gonna jump straight to Bruce Banner first because the next 4 cards are kind of in tandem together. They are all affecting Hela, right? So let's talk about Bruce Banner. Bruce Banner now, it becomes a 33% chance to Hawk out. So an additional 8% chance. If you were to ask me, not a huge deal, but necessary because after Scar was nerfed to a 7/12, Bruce Banner decks, I actually quite like playing Bruce Banner decks, alright? I run one with Scar, not Infinite. I actually do think it's better, right? And my take on that deck is that with Scar being a 7/12, that deck is hit quite a fair bit because if you don't run to turn 7, Scar becomes very awkward to play. Alright, and even if you run to a turn 7, if Bruce Banner doesn't Hawk out early, Scar is almost like pretty dead in your hand. Right, so yeah, that deck, Bruce Banner decks have received a huge hit with that nerf to Scar, so I do think that this small change is necessary to sort of balance it out, right? So yeah, in any case, an additional 8%, I wouldn't call it I wouldn't say it's game breaking. I wouldn't call it a guarantee that Bruce Banner goes to, Hawk. So yeah, I think this change is needed, but it shouldn't, I don't think it will really affect uh I don't think it will really affect how the standing of that particular deck. Now I'll talk about the next 4 cards. Swordmaster goes from 3-7 to 3-6. Hellcow 4-7 to 4-6. Black Cat goes from 4-10 to 2-6. Hela goes from 6-9, which was really really nice, to a 6-6. So basically, let's talk about Swordmaster, Hellcow, and Hela first. Basically, they're just power adjustments downwards. Yeah, okay, fine. So basically, alright, so basically with Scar being changed to a 7-12, Hela decks receive quite a, in a certain way, a buff, because now they can resurrect, they can respawn this 7 cost Scar, right? So yeah, people were saying that, hey, the power is, too high, right? And so I guess bring down Swordmaster, Hellcow, and Hela's power, fine, fair enough. I can see why. I can see a reasoning for that. But Black Cat going from 4-10 to 2-6 is very very interesting. Now, Black Cat as a 4-10 was an auto discard, was a automatic 4-cost discard, which was very very cool, right? Now changing it to a 2-6, yeah, sure, okay. Okay, honestly, some people are arguing that, some people are saying that it's bad because now we have to look at, we need to have another 4 costs to discard, right? We need to play something to be discarded. I honestly don't think so. I don't think it's a huge deal because previously people were dropping Black Cat was automatically dropping, alright, but it's going to automatically drop as well right now, just that it's a 2 cost, but currently Hela decks don't have any 2 costs to be discarded as well. You don't do it actively, right? You're not going to actively try to discard your Adam Warlock or your Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross if you're running that. So yeah, discarding Black Cat as a 2-6 is pretty okay, man. It is pretty okay. To me it's the reduction of 4 power that will hurt Hela deck a lot with this Black Cat change, right? So overall, some people are saying that it's a pretty huge change because let me pull out the Hela deck. Hang on, right? So let me do a run through. I honestly don't think it really changed much, right? Because with how Hela decks are, you see, the other 2 costs that can be discarded, Thunderbolt, Adam Warlock, both of which have very low power. So yeah, you would rather play them and discard your Black Cat. So what's the problem? There's no issue if you will ask me. Alright, if we are looking at a Hela deck, a very standard Hela deck, we are still looking at turn 1 Blade, turn 2 Adam Warlock. Alright, I don't have Thunderbolt Ross, so I'm going with Adam Warlock. Turn 2 Adam Warlock, turn 3 Sith Swordmaster, turn 4 Silver Samurai Hellcow, turn 5 Silver Samurai Hellcow. Alright, or you play your 5 cost Iron Man. I'm running Iron Man. Your other slots, you have your Gore, Hela, Scar, Death, right? So you still want to discard, you still have other things that you want to discard, right? You still want to discard your Gore, you still want to discard your Scar, your Death. So I honestly think, whether or not you discard Black Cat as your 4 cost, whether you revive it, it's inconsequential. It really is inconsequential because you're not looking to discard your 2 costs, right? In the event that you discard 2 costs, you discard Adam Warlock and you resurrect it over Black Cat, yeah, tough luck. But that should not be a huge deal if you were to ask me, because your game plan focus more on, you know, discarding your Iron Man, your Gore, your Scar, your Death through your Silver Samurai, Hellcow, Lady Sif, Swordmaster, and things like that, and Blade as well. So overall, I don't think there's any change in terms of Hela gameplay. I don't think there's any change. It's just the power, right? A lot of power has been taken away. A total of 9 power has been taken away from Hela decks, which is a lot, which is really a lot. Right, so yeah, I think Hela players will find it a little bit more difficult to breeze through. But I do think that this change is fine. Right, during my climb to Infinite this season, I've ran into many Hela decks, and it feels like crap, honestly. Right, because it just feels so bad, you know. You can have a good 5 turns, but you know that if they drew their Hela, you could be losing. You are likely to lose, unless you had a very good first 5 turns. Otherwise, you stand no chance. Final change, Deep Space, the location is being temporarily disabled. Alright, Deep Space, card text is disabled here. Never like this location. I feel that this location basically says, no, we don't like you to play Marvel Snap. Right, because I mean, card games, the fun of card games is, you know, playing different cards with different abilities, different effects, and Deep Space just takes out that. So yeah, I honestly think Deep Space, I don't know, man. I think Deep Space should just be taken out of the game completely. Right, so these are my thoughts on the March 13 today's balance update. Overall, I think that it's a very healthy update. Overall, I do think that this update is fantastic. Sam Wilson definitely needed. Doom, okay. I wouldn't say it's a bad change. I don't think it's needed that urgently, but okay, fair enough. Doom 2099 decks are still very strong decks, so okay, maybe they are seeing some statistics that I don't. Right, Thanos deck, welcome change. Wolverine, welcome change. Loki step in. I mean, it helps, it potentially helps, but I don't think the concept of Loki now is good. Hela gets a huge nerf, necessary. Bruce Banners get a little bit of uplift after the Scar change, which I think is also necessary. Right, so that's all from me today. Happy snapping, folks.